Hello, hello, hello in Pulsechain land, or I've heard it referred to as Hexico as well. Nice to see you all. My name is Brandon, and I know some of you guys know me. I'm not like super well known or popular in the community, but um, I was on a stream with RH Max and Whitney a few weeks back to talk about my story and how I got into Pulsechain and also some other things. That was a lot of fun. Thank you to RH Max for that, inviting me on there. I want to share my story a little bit, how I got started in here, and it well, let me go back to last month in March where we had the Pulse Chain conference, and I decided to go in person and actually meet in real life a lot of you, which was super awesome, super fun. Oh my gosh, the amount of geniuses and innovators and good people was just very apparent and kind of heartwarming too, because everyone was really friendly with me. So I really appreciated that, and that is something I saw like watching YouTube videos before I ever went to the conference, about the Pulse Chain community is just a togetherness and connectedness that people want to have for the most part. There obviously is lots of division and scandal and people at each other's throats right now. Um, Prices are low, can I say? But I get that part. But for the conference itself and the people, very endearing and loved it, had a blast there. I was asked by Max, what brought me to a place where I would want to come and meet some of you all in real life at these conference thing here. And so I'll just get into it. It was back in 2023. Uh, I I'm actually, so my background is as a psychotherapist, and I work with people who a lot of people who have PTSD, attachment issues from childhood, and also I do a fair amount of couples therapy as well. Um, and I had a client who I was working with, and I could tell he's a really smart dude. And he's like, "Look, Brandon, let me pay you in crypto. There's this blockchain called Pulsechain, and I want to pay you in Pulse, which is their coin." And I was like, "Look, man, I don't know anything about this. Crypto to me was like a scam at the time. Like, there's no tangible thing I can touch and feel. What am I actually owning here in crypto? Like, it just looks like it's nothing. I own a code. Like, why does that mean anything? Why do people care about that really?" Um, so I kind of just thought it was all a big scam or whatever. And but I was open to it, and I said, "Look, man, you want to teach me? I'll look into it. Let me see." And so he did, and credit to him, he actually spent a lot of time showing me how it works, how crypto works. And it was specifically about Pulse Chain, though, and why Pulse Chain, and why I should be interested in it. So he taught me. I was fascinated, although I didn't understand it. And I can't say I completely understand all the technicalities of crypto. We start getting into nodes and validators and different things, and I get a little lost. But I think I have a basic understanding of it now. So he started paying me in Pulse, and I thought it was kind of cool. Um, and then I started watching YouTube videos, and I started seeing people like um, Crypto Coffee. Was watching his videos. I watch some of the Sami videos. Love Sami, and who else? DJ Khalid, I think. Um, yeah, and then there's like another podcast with what's his name, like Crypto Ewok or something, and another guy was watching that too. Just getting some more information about the chain. Um, and it was a lot of fun. Actually, I gotta say, like, I started learning more about Pulsechain, and it was a lot of fun, and there's a lot of cool characters and stuff. So I'm really drawn to the community and the YouTube videos, and this is kind of a smaller, like grassroots uh, movement. And I was kind of like, this is awesome because Bitcoin's huge, Solana, Ethereum, they're huge. Pulse Chain is relatively unknown, and still kind of is actually now. Um, so I just kept getting into it more and more. Now, obviously, I start watching Richard Hart videos. Okay. And I'm watching his content, and as a therapist, I read people, I'm sitting with people, psychoanalyzing them, their behaviors, their patterns, why they do things they do, what's their true motivation and intentions. So, as I'm watching Richard Hart and getting to know him through the videos, I'm seeing somebody who clearly is very brilliant and innovative, um, but somebody who has a complete mastery of what he's talking about. But geniuses can be good, they can be bad, they can use their powers for bad. How do you know? Well, um, I can see that he has a vision. Now he wants to build something. He's talking about building, full on, obviously blockchain, but an ecosystem where everybody can come and use all the things that are in the crypto world, but use them on Pulse Chain, which is the freedom of speech chain. There's better privacy. There's a lot of utility, and there's no central authority to it. So that's a grand vision to have. So thinking, well, that's good because that's going to help a lot of people, right? And then like his personality starts to come through, and I've heard it be said that he's like the Donald Trump of crypto, which makes a lot of sense because one, he's absolutely masterful at marketing. The outrage marketing is great, gets a lot of people in. People want to be winners. People want to be dominant. People want to brag about the community that they're in and how innovative and technologically incredible it is. People want to have that. They want to associate themselves with something that's cool and great. I also see, like, yeah, he's got a big ego, but you kind of need that when you're that intelligent. He probably looks at other people and thinks, oh gosh, like I really have to like talk to your guys' level here and break things down, and I bet it's annoying for him at some level. That's how smart he is, but he does it though, and he tries to relate to us common people with below 1,000 IQs. I see that he's also a good person too, and he's resilient. He's not going to be told no. He's not going to be told he can't do something. He's going to go and do what he knows he wants to do, but knows it's a better way to do it. He's more productive, more efficient, and he's going to do it. He doesn't care what you think. And you want that in a leader. You want that as someone who you want to invest in, someone who thinks that way and who's not going to give up and who's going to make the right decisions for the most part. No one's perfect, but I think that's what he does. And in the videos, his content, he's like a good person where he's trying to help people have a better life. You know, he's trying to teach people a better way to live. Show you how crypto works. Um, he's trying to help you create more wealth. He's trying to keep you from getting scammed. That's what I saw from a psychological perspective. And could could it be wrong? Could he end up being this really bad guy? I mean, maybe, but nothing is certain in life. We're on a spinning rock in the middle of space, so you know, nothing is for certain. Now, Richard and his spirit and who he is reflected in the community. One thing I learned is the community is a mix of brilliant creative people who are innovating or making the best memes, building ecosystems within Pulsechain that are really cool. Um, there's a lot of resilience too, a lot of resilience. The price has been down, the price has gone up a little bit, then it went down. For the most part, people aren't giving up though. People see that the ideas, the vision of Pulsechain and the coins is much larger than the ups and downs, the volatility of price action. So when you're a part of something, and I was figuring this out along the way, that all these people, they're very committed and believe you're not going to be alone, and that means that whatever you're buying into, it can only go so low because there's just too many people that are truly inspired and believe in this. Um, that feels safe as someone who's investing actual money. So I like that. And a lot of Pulsechain, not all of it, because there are some definite mental health issues going on in Pulsechain. I've already been called a retard. I don't know what I did, but the first thing I thought is, okay, this has happened a lot on X. 'Cause I see a lot of Pulsechain people calling each other retards, and so I'm like, maybe this is just the rite of passage for Pulsechain community. You got to be called a retard or a scammer or something just to get your proper place in the community. So I was cool with that. But I, outside of the mental health issues and the schizophrenic, bipolar craziness, I do find myself as a therapist even resonating with the community. And just the idea of the resilience of the community and how the community, when there's problems, there are people that seem to always show up and decide to take on how to solve the problems. What are we going to do? How are we going to make the reality that we want actual? Make it happen. How do we do that? The cliche quote, like, be the change you want to see in the world. But it's taken to heart here. And I resonate with that as a therapist because I'm working with people all the time and trying to get people out of the endless cycle of being in camp victim, where everyone's just given up and feeling hopeless and let's just wait for someone to save us. No, that's not the Pulsechain community. not at all. And that's not how I work with people either. It's, we need to empower ourselves. We need to realize that we are the author of our own story in life. We are the director of our own movie. So we need to make things happen, or don't make things happen, but we have to live with that though, right? And so I appreciate that about the community. And one thing that really I admire, and like that's why I'm doing this video too, because I want to be a part of that. I want to offer things to you all, and you know make this community, whatever it is or it can be, the best it can be, and offer my small part of it here too. Um, the vision I see in Pulsechain, the most important parts of it have to do with the decentralization of Pulsechain. There's no central authority who's controlling things. There is no blacklist. You can. That we're striving to make everything private. Privacy is a priority, and it is to me too. That's a huge part of the vision as well. Um, and Pulsechain Hex, it's math. It's unstoppable. It's accessible to everyone here. And that's what's great. It's accessible to everyone. You don't have to be left out. You can be part of this. No one would even know, right? Um, so those are some of the tenets of the vision here in Pulsechain that I think are the most important, and the freedom of speech. I mean, obviously, we just saw Richard Hart defeat the SEC, and he was able to make his case that there's no jurisdiction for them to have control over him anyways, but he hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't done anything illegal in what he's created. Um, there were no promises made. Great. But he's fought for the idea that there can be freedom of speech and freedom of movement within Pulsechain, and that benefits everybody. There's so much corruption and tyranny in the world, and I don't need everyone knowing my business either. I don't want that. So I'm so proud to be a part of the community, and to see that, hey, I am with other people that believe in the ideals and principles that allow for humanity to be free and to prosper, and for us to be who we are innately as, from my perspective, wonderful, precious creatures of God. So, yeah, I love that. To me, that's the real gold of Pulsechain. And I think people are lost too. A lot of people don't know about Pulsechain. The financial systems have failed the average person. Here in the States, at least, where I'm at, it's cost of living is high, and it's hard to grow and to create more and more wealth. Things are so manipulated, and people don't know. People don't know what to do. They're lost. So having this Pulsechain, this way to build your wealth, and you have Hex, you have staking. It's so much better than the options we have here. Having a benevolent founder who believes deeply in his own blockchain, his own coins, and he's vested in seeing the community flourish is amazing. So, yeah, that for me, hopefully that summarizes in some way how I got into the community and how I feel and why it's important. Um, yeah, so hopefully you all appreciate everything that's around you, because this is unique. This just doesn't happen that often in life, at least not like this. It doesn't. Um, so I'm proud to be a part of the crazy schizo bipolar, but also loving and resilient and self sufficient group in Pulsechain community. Proud to be part of the the we are Pulsechain, and I am part of this, and happy to contribute any way I can. And I love blending any psychotherapy content I can with crypto content, and any suggestions you have or things you'd like me to talk about, topics, subjects, or whatever. Please let me know. Put a comment, let me know, or you can DM me, and let's keep making this great, wonderful Pulse Chain ecosystem better together. Um, I love you all, and hopefully this video was edifying in some way for you. And we'll see you all soon, because I'll be making some more. Okay? Take care.